Hey people, Intro here, 3v3, Grey Suck, Undercity, Blue Team, a couple of Sorcerers. First up is Fear, Black Legion, and alongside Scrap. These guys are offensive and disruptive heroes with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Rounding off the team, Mendicant Bias and a Raven Alpha. A tunneling hero with great mobility, powerful offense, and a bit of support. Begins with a ranged weapon. On the red team, Imperium's got together. Jaybob's got a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support. Fighting in melee, begins with a shield. Can shoot his own fellas in the head to encourage them. This is the Armageddon Steel Legion elite scheme. Alongside here, Soul Reaver's Inquisitor, an offensive hero with powerful control. Begins in melee but can get specialized. Ranged weapon, she goes for that contested wreck point. She's going to get shot a bunch doing that, I'm sure. And rounding off the teams, New Bad and a Force Commander. A versatile frontline hero bringing offense, disruption and support for the Emperor. And we have the Lunar Wolves Crusade era pre-heresy scheme type thing. Funky jump packs on the Assault Marines for these guys. Maybe we'll see them later. Inquisitor did get the cap. She took like 2/3 of her health though. Force Commander leading the line. Did the Heretics try to Doom Blast there and they missed? I'm sure I saw one of them explode. Sorcerer runs. Force Commander's going to have to run soon as well. Chasing off one of those Termagants though, that's alright. Hormagaunt's in the back line. Sentinel has the stomp though. And the Inquisitor's there too. And shotgun blasting the scouts as well. Tactical Marines, can they find a good melee combat here? Maybe they could get on those CSM, they're quite low. Termagants get tied up and a good special there from the Inquisitor. Gets rid of those guys. She did really well. Got the cap. Messed up a bunch of stuff, knocked it around. Got half an XP bar. Even helped the force off these CSM. She's down to 99 hit points. Maybe they can get a decap. Now, where is the Ravener? Oh, look at him. Decapping the red team's natural VP using this very crafty tunnel down here in the south. Now they're having to deal with the Sorcerer again. There's a Doombolt, so quite a nasty one too on those poor guards when he gets stomped and then sent packing. Was very isolated there. Inquisitor still in play, decapping up in the northeast. A decapped victory point. The other Sorcerer goes for it. This is Fear. Got some Havocs up. Scrap also has some Havocs up. Nothing else up for Soul Reaver and New Bad quite yet. No sign of a Flamer. What about you fellas? No sign of a Flamer on these guys too. So I don't think they're going to be diving for power anytime soon. Hormagaunts and double Termagants all upgraded right here for Mendicant Bias. Toxin Sacs in and the Adrenal Glands are in. Guardsmen backing off. They do have the Sentinel to draw fire and soak up damage for them. Need to repair it, of course, which they're not doing at the moment. Is this the, like, Cadian Shadow Force or whatever it's called? Shadow Regiment? It might be. Double worshipping heretics, so they are infiltrating each other. Sorcerer's been revealed, though. Havocs have been revealed. There's a Doombolt, so a pretty good one. Lord Commissar goes flying in. Catachan Devil's on the way. Maybe we'll see the awesome power sword for this guy. Starts with a chainsword these days, which is a nice touch. Because now he gets a distinct model when he gets the power sword. That was pretty cool. Chaos Space Marines here with Eternal War. Chasing off the Sentinel. And they will hold the VP. Aspiring champion on these heretics. Running into a grenade barrage from the Catachan Devils. These guys are very versatile. Can disrupt from short and long range. Powerful in melee. Can support with a smoke grenade. There's the smoke grenade for the Sentinel. Lots of damage though from Doombolts and Heretics. I'm not sure why they got that close. I thought they were trying to disrupt the Havocs there with a shotgun. But there was nothing really to support them anyway. Meanwhile, I mean it kept them off the power, I suppose. Ravener Alpha gets shot off. And more Catachan Devils this time for Soul Reaver. Stomp for those Hormagaunts. And the Assault Squad jumping in. We do get to see those weird bulky jetpacks or jump packs. And Raptors in there too. Did that suppression on landing, but they jumped into a bad spot. There were shotgun scouts here, Catachans here, and that Force Commander, of course, who's got Armor of Alacrity. There we go. Don't get to see this very often. Gives him more speed, gives him a sprint ability, and a bit more hit points. It's quite nice, I think. It competes with Artificer Armor, which is really nice, though, which makes him a bunch tougher. Sentinel comes in with a stomp. That is Soul Reaver's Sentinel. Jaybob's is down here. Doombolts went in. And off the field now is pretty much all of Fear's stuff. Where's the Heretics? Already back at base, and these guys also run. They grabbed the wreck point though. Nobody's taking this contested power point up in northeast corner. On my way, says Scrap. I think that's what he's meant to be saying there. He's going to defend the power, which is smart. Can set up the Havocs. Sentinel strides straight across to that wreck point. Looks like he's going to go and deal with that first. Nothing coming through the mid for a power bash, you know. They've gone straight center here, Soul Reaver, with Holy Brazier on the way. Don't see any flamers. We do see some artillery spotters. These guys can call in off-map mortar shells to disrupt and confound their enemies. Raven Alpha gets a decap on that power point. Natural power, quite difficult to hit. Much easier, of course, when you have a tunnel here. Didn't quite get the last generator, but bash 2 gens and the node and decap, so not bad for Mendicant bias. Here's that Inquisitor and the Holy Brazier. 50 DPS power melee weapon with the Holy Pyre, damaging enemies and reducing their damage by 20% in the area. Good area denial. Both the Chaos Sorcerers hitting power now. The CSM are a bit low though, eh? Havocs will try to set up. The other Havocs got smoked, and here comes the Inquisitor. So we're going to throw out the Holy Pyre. Good spot for it, eh? Now she's fighting a bunch of Heretics. Keeps them in place for a bunch of lasgun fire. Pathogens in amongst the Havocs. Raptors trying to counter-initiate. Pathogens getting a bit low. They do have power melee knives though. They are sent packing. They don't have any special attacks though, I believe. So in a stand-up melee fight, they can be at a disadvantage in that way. Nice flank here though by Soul Reaver. Pathogens not forcing melee on those Raptors. Sometimes you just can't get your fingers to move fast enough to get into melee stance kind of thing when you're thinking about other things, but they did take a model off him. And they get on the power now. Nope, Soul Reaver again goes straight mid. The power's right here. Should be hitting this, I think. Meanwhile, the scouts of New Bad are decapping the VP. Assault squad nice and healthy alongside their force commander, still level 1. But it's got a chunk of XP. Soul Reaver's Inquisitor's level 2. Level 2 Lord Commissar. And a Blood Crusher is on the field for Fear in Tier 2. A demon with vehicle armor. Good mobility, good damage. Not the toughest thing around, but of course you can worship it. And it's got some abilities that can help it survive. A charge and a big demonic roar that scares things off momentarily. But 600 hit points of vehicle armor against some hard AV tends to go down quite fast. This Sorcerer is also down. No melee resistance on it as well, so these Ogrins that Jaybob just got will smash it to pieces. Those fellas have heavy melee, which is just them smacking you with their guns. That's how hard they smack you. What are those guns made out of? Stern Guard? Some Stern Guard dropped in by New Bad up in the north to help out. Raptors try to get straight on them, but then they jump away. They have their aspiring champion with that awesome Demon Maul thing. Smoke doing some good work. Inquisitor getting close enough, and there's that disruptive shot. Havocs need to set themselves up again. These are CSM with aspiring champion off the field. Ogrins going straight for the Blood Crusher. Heretics doom blasting them to suppress. Lord Commissar's going to go down, indeed he does. And the Ogrins, oh, they don't have their boned leader. You do have a Missile Sentinel. Was alive to that attack from these Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines of Fear. Can they go toe-to-toe with these Ogrins? Might depend on whether the Ogrins have the Bonehead leader and can use the User Red to disrupt them. Did well there. Did have a bunch of plasma gun support though from these guardsmen. Ouch, nasty doom bolts. The Blood Crusher survives. Or does it? Sentinel getting a cracked missile in there. That mortar shell misses. Blood Crusher now under Tzeentchian worship, so he gets a bunch of health and energy regen. And these guys are getting Mark of Khorne, which gives them a pretty damn good autocannon. Ogrins with their boned leader now. on the power point. Raptors jumping in, suppressing all that stuff. The stomp kind of missed them, actually. There's a Dark Flames on retreat. That is nasty. Such a narrow little area, too. Now the Ogrins are on them, though. They need to jump out. Good use of the Raptors there by Scrap, I think. Even the Ogrins dropped a model. Was that Scrap's Dark Flames as well? I'm not sure. Mendicant Bias down to Raveners and Venom Brood. Not sure what happened down here. Bunch of dead stuff. Stern Guard happened, I'm sure, with their Hellfire rounds. Shotgun blasts. Upgraded Assault Squad. Force Commander's off the field, but he does have a Thunderhammer. Jeans did a Brood on the field for Mendicant Bias. Do we have a melee Ravener Alpha? He was getting something there. Was it Acid Splatter? Here he is. That is... Oh, it's Crippling Talon. Don't get to see Acid Splatter very often. It's an area of effect / damage power weapon. I think maybe because the splash itself is not power melee. I'm not sure why they did that. Would it be too powerful, I guess. I think the splash part of it's only piercing damage. We have Reinforced Chitin, which makes him immune to weapon knockback, is it? Immunity to weapon and domino knockback, 200 hit points, and slows units that hit him. Pretty good. Also, Crippling Talon slows it down and reduces your damage. I think that's on a per model basis, yeah, so you often see the Ravener go after an enemy hero with it. Venom Brood still getting knocked around. How can these Gene Stealers do, though? They're massively outnumbered. Got some Raveners alongside them, melee Raveners too. Doing alright, you know. Messing up the Assault Squad, almost wiped them. And that was with shotgun scouts in there and Stern Guard shooting at them too. So they did pretty damn well. Ravener Brood doing work. Able to escape, I think, unless the Force Commander can get on them. Ravener Alpha now also has Toxic Miasma. Or Miasma. A cloud that does damage around the Ravener Alpha. Does it... Can't remember if it drains energy while it's active or you just activate and it goes for a certain amount of seconds. Also gives them a bit of health, which is nice. Oh, here's a Dreadnought. That's bad news for the Ravener. He's trying to kill... There we go. I think the damage from Toxic Miasma killed the Force Commander there. Should get revived, though. Up back to the northeast. Some Tzeentchian Worship, Mark of Khorne CSM fellas. Got some Bloodletters in here, too. From Scrap. Fear, though, down to just Mark of Khorne CSM. And some Heretics. Tier 3, though. Ogrins are still going. Yes, they are. Raptors flee. Not sure. Maybe they were trying to dive after that Sentinel, perhaps. 358 to 287 on the VPs. Here's that Dreadnought. Starts off as a melee walker. What do they call this pattern of Dreadnought? It's got a weird name. Because these days, of course, you have Redemptor Dreadnoughts for the Primaris fellas. It's like Castra Ferrum or something like that. These old ones for the Firstborn. My favourite Dreadnought design for sure, I think, those fellas. In Tier 3, these guys could become Bullgrins, especially because they haven't leveled up yet. But they may. Chaos Predator on the way for Fear. There's a decent amount of room for tanks up here. But as soon as you try and take it through this middle area, it can get a little bit dicey. 358 to 267. Big attack here. And Fear's having to back off. Autocannon sets up. At least gets a single burst away. But now needs to run. We have Rod of Warp Fire, looks like, over there on Fear. Doom bolts flying in. Oh, look at this. Sneaky Chaos Space Queens in the backline. Ogrins going after him. Can knock them over with User Red, but they are already in retreat. Circle of Summoning there, spawning some Bloodletters. Some pink Bloodletters. Would also allow reinforcement around them. But yeah, that's too much firepower too quickly. We'll see what a tank can do. Going for the Mark of Nurgle makes your tank much tougher, resistant to melee damage, and get some health regen. It does lose some anti-vehicle effectiveness because it gets these stinky Nurgle autocannon rounds, which are perhaps good against all this light infantry. We will see. Soul Reaver's struggling with frame rate. I mean, that's Dawn of War 2 for you. You can go from 150 frames at the start of the game to like 23 once the terrain starts to get scarred and things. This is like an old DirectX 9 game, so when it comes to draw calls and that kind of thing. It's very inefficient, unfortunately. Let's hope for a Dawn of War 2 definitive edition, eh? 342 to 257. There's a stomp. Raptors are now stunned. They're level 3. They've been doing well. Bloodletter's in there as well. Missile launcher Sentinel getting some crack missiles on the tank. Now it's in a bit of trouble though, being chased by heretics and shot at by said tank. Can they finish it? Holy Pie is in there. Mandate up for the Inquisitor. Sentinel survives for now. 335 to 257. Ravener Alpha is down, I see. Oh, just got repurchased. And goes tier 3. Looks like Soul Reaver will be the last player to go tier 3. Not that far behind though. New Bad does have a ton of red, so good drop Terminators in. Soul Reaver also has a ton of red. Might be looking for a rocket run, or maybe build a tank and then drop in some Stormtroopers or something, or maybe even a Bane Wolf to help out down here, because it would be pretty helpful against these Tyranids. Meanwhile though, down in the southwest, Force Commander smacking stuff around with his hammer. That battle cry damage bonus boosting all of these infantry damage, of course. And I think Mendicant Bias is doing the right thing and trying to spread his damage around to all of the units to try and keep them tied up. You don't want to leave those Stern Guard there just shooting your stuff while you focus down something else. Just didn't have the numbers to compete though. Needs another unit up. Maybe another Ravener Brood, you know, with the melee upgrade. But he's in tier 3 now, so most likely looking for Carnifexes and things like that. Ravener Alpha runs, or whatever it does, slithers away, and survives. Up in the northeast, got some Tzeentchian worship. You guys are infiltrators, so you're not firing. There we go. Now they're firing at something. Looks like they're firing at the Catechans here. Would the heavy bolter be more useful? Help control these Ogrins, because they're just piling in wherever they want to. Oh, can they wipe them though? Can they wipe them? They can wipe them. I'm just about to go on a tirade about how effective the Ogrins have been, and they haven't been controlling them very well. And don't need to control something when you can just kill it, I suppose. These guys are not going to spin towards the south, I guess not. 311 to 246 on the VPs. Maybe everyone's having some frame rate or latency issues in this game. 311 to 246 on the VPs. Jaybob with a Stormlord on the way. Scrap has got what looks like it's going to be a Mark of Tzeentch Chaos Predator, so anti-vehicle specialized. Bloodletters are capping. I love the idea of a demon from the warp capping a point. What do they think is going on? They're running away now. Inquisitor hits level 4 and gets the revive, looks like, on the level 5 Lord Commissar. What, did he get any war gear? He's got Aura of Discipline to help out. Well, didn't help out his Ogrins there. He was on the floor, I guess. Meanwhile, a Lictor in tier 3 for Mendicant Bias, getting that fast capping going on. And that free infiltration. This guy does not spend energy to maintain infiltration. It's pretty awesome. And he can flesh hook, and he can leap. And he's got heavy melee damage. Just usually gets overshadowed by Carnifexes, but he's a pretty awesome unit, this fella. Jumps away. VP uncapped in the northeast. I think it might be worth keeping these missiles on cracks. Try and get some good bursts against the tanks and make them back off, maybe. They definitely need some anti-vehicle up here, the red team. Well, Soul Reaver has a Leman Russ. He's going for Vanquisher, which is the anti-vehicle upgrade, and the Stormlord is up here. This is more of an anti-infantry super heavy tank. But it's still got las cannons on it and stuff. You guys hit level 4? You did hit level 4. Well done, fellas. Almost 2,000 hit points on those guys. Oh, look at this. Assault Terminators called in by New Bad, unique to the Force Commander. Going after the tank immediately with those heavy melee Thunderhammers being chased. Oh, wow. They used the teleport offensively. That is, I think, a really bad idea. New Bad does not have a librarian. They get the kill, but can they get away? Markov Korn CSM are on them. Bloodletters are right here. I guess they feel like they have enough support. And I think they do. It was a good shout by Newbad. I didn't see all this other stuff coming in. Oh, that was weird. He tried to save the tank with a warp. But I think he got shot like mid-warp maybe. So that was a pretty dominant little engagement for the red team. Great Unclean One is up for fear. Some Plague Marines on the way. They need to do something about his vehicles. Maybe some Havocs with Marco Zinch as well. The Tyranids run. It looked like Catalyst was on the Gene Stealers there. I don't know why they ran so far, so I guess they saw what was up here, eh? The Commissar's got Fist of Brockus. Keep stuff alive with None Shall Fall. Does this guy need repairs? Nope. And it's Guardsman capping. Where are the Stern Guard? Why aren't you guys capping? You're still at the bottom of the map. This guy's got his standard now. Kassakin on the way for Jaybob. Plague Marines are up. Swarmlord on the way. Almost said Stormlord again. Do they still have... Yeah, they've got 2 Markov Corner CSM. They've got Bloodletters. They've got the Raptors. They can do some really good damage to those Terminators if they show up for a melee fight. And we could, of course, see, yep, Tome of Subjugation is already in. So he can subjugate those guys and then force them to use their teleport, get them into a bad spot. New bad, still getting some kind of lag issues, whether it's frame rate or latency. Used to be really bad back in the day when this game used to be peer-to-peer. Pretty much every 3v3 would have a bunch of lag as you wait for the slowest player. But thankfully they fixed that with the battle servers back in 2016, I think. Been a while now. Down go those Markov Corner CSM. So much for those guys threatening the Terminators. Great and Clean One's having a grand old time, though, isn't he? Cloud of Flies. What happened to the... Oh, they all jumped inside the Stormlord, I think. You can reinforce off this thing. Now a very brave Lord Commissar trying to fight him. Not going to work out great for him, but he can retreat. Or can he? Gets warp fired over. Throws the shield back up. And then dies. Just gets backhanded aside. New bad still getting some lag issues, eh? But he's got to suck it up. Do the best he can. Ravenant Alpha flees. Lictus flees. He didn't... Oh, he got the cap, you know. Stern Guard taking it back with their fast capping. That was a bunch of rippers in there just messing stuff up. Holy Pyre. Not super useful at the moment. There's that Swarm Lord. Allows you to reinforce around it. And you get a nice speed bonus synapse as well. Not to mention, pretty tasty in melee combat. What is this? Markov Corner CSM hanging around. Are you going in for a power bash, guys? Or a flank? Looks like maybe a power bash try to draw those guys away. Some Zinch in worship with a Great and Clean One. 263 to 124. Sentinel's going to try and shoot him. That was one of the most successful volley there. That's weird. Why is he shooting one frag missile at a time? There we go. Shoot 3, you idiot. Not sure what that driver's up to. Meanwhile, some Plasma Kassakin. Shooting something. Capillary Tower, maybe. These guys aren't pushing, eh? Go now, says Fear. Melaz. Melaz? Melters? Oh, Melters here. These days, of course, the aspiring champion gets a power fist when you have melter guns, which is quite nice, and he gets a melter pistol. Going after the Stormlord. Gartus stuns a bunch of stuff, doesn't stun the Great and Clean One. There's double Plague Marines there. I think the Stormlord is done for. Rocket Run, he tried to dodge it with those Plague Marines you saw there. Another Rocket Run. They might have wiped one of the Plague Marines, actually. There's another Great and Clean One, though. He actually launched those Plague Marines closer to the tank, I think. Those surviving Plague Marines there. Down goes the Stormlord. A valiant effort to get away, but not quite enough. Yeah, maybe should have turned those rocket runs the other direction. Some of those rockets might have even hit the tank. 207124, this guy's going super aggro. I think Fear knows that he can warp it out, although the Sorcerer's right here. Might need to retreat this guy to get him far enough away for the warp. Takes out the Sentinel, that's exactly what he's done. See the Sorcerer retreating off to create some distance. There's the warp. Oh, it was Scrap that actually did the warp to save him. Back to base there. And here's Demon Armor for Scrap too. Yeah, you can warp allied units away, which is handy. That was a crack grenade or something, or a melter bomb. What stunned the Baneblade, says Jaybob. Did he get stunned? Oh, I think it was melter bomb combined with the plague marine slowing it down when it couldn't move. Maybe the Raptors seem to have wiped on that run. Here they are. That might have been something that completely arrested the movement of the tank because they stacked together. Lots of resources for New Bad. Wonder if he's saving up for a Land Raider here. Got tons of red. Could get some regular non-assault Terminators also. Up in the northeast, we have some demonic armor for some reason here. We expect that to be used on a cap attempt or something. Both the Great and Keen ones are back. There's some Zechian worship. There's an autocannon as well, and there's a foul snare dragging that Lord Commissar around. He's got his bionic eye. 195 to 119. Looks like that tooltip's a bit dodgy on that bionic eye. 194 to 119. 1-to-1 cap. Here come some Kassakin though. For fast capping goodness. They've got melter guns in hand as well, looks like. Good damage type against the Great and Keen ones. Rocket run. Decent hits. Looks like both of the southern and western players are kind of defending their VPs for now. New Bad still getting a bunch of lag. Ogrins did a great job, but they must flee. Got half an XP bar already, almost. Not sure how long those fellas have been out for. Some good old Noble Vomit. Doing some good damage to these guys, but 6,000 hit points to get through. Here comes another Chaos Predator for Fear. The third one, I think, from those two players was this. Oh, they're looking for the Lictor. Is the tunnel still down here? No, it's not. Lictor goes down on retreat. He's trying to be all sneaky like, didn't work out. Here's the Swarm Lord, here comes another Lictor. And there's a Carnifex, and we have Thornback for melee. That way he gets melee resistance and can maybe go toe-to-toe with these Terminators, although they're going to be buffed by this Force Commander. And he can put 4D Emperor on them. Another buff. There's some Leech Essence. I'm not sure why he's using it so quickly. The Swarm Lord didn't need health, but he's draining it. I guess it's a way to do damage. Gene Stealers just wiped, did they? Maybe. Got some weird physics going on from the Space Marines. Vanguard veterans ran away. Oh, the Gene Stealers are still in there. They're reinforcing off the Swarm Lord quickly enough. Some Terminators with Cyclone Missile Launcher teleport out. Now it's the Assault Terminators with some backup coming in from double Vanquisher Leman Russes. These guys might need to turn around and leave. Oh, is that Acid Splatter now? Oh, there we go. 55.55 power melee DPS with a 15 piercing. Splash. A lot of damage to this Leman Russ here. Can this Carnifex get away? He can maybe charge away. Thornback should have charge. There it is. But still goes down. Now a Marcus Zinch Predator comes in, takes out one of the Leman Russes. Well, what was left of it. But can it get away? This other Vanquisher might try to avenge its buddy. He's got such good range and damage. Yep, down it goes. Those Vanquishers are vicious. Up in the northeast, it's red. 105 to 119, it's very close. Another Leman Russ for Jaybob. Mendicant Bias has tons of red, so we could see a Tyranids formation to stop a cap or something. Raven Alpha needs a revive though. There you go. Oh, we got Icon of Zinch here. Level 9 Sorcerer, level 6 Sorcerer. Great Unclean one stomping around. Where is the other one? It's not too far away. and vomit on these fellas, maybe. Lord Commissar, level 7. Doing some good work. There is an Imperial Abyss from one of the Sorcerers. That was a lot of damage to that Leman Russ, you know. And the Great and Clean get the finish here. Oh, the Plague Marines got the finish. Even debuffed by the Holy Pyre there. 77 to 119. Got some stuff guarding the VP down here. Autocannon Havocs. And that Lictor. Because we're getting so low on VPs, becomes a big decision to send these guys away to heal, because it'll take them a while. Maybe if you can use Warp just to heal them up, might be worth it. This guy can't do it because he's on the field. What about Scrap? Scrap's on the VP. Maybe just worship him over here then. Only Fear has heretics, although Scrap is getting some. Yeah, there's some worship for this fella. Gonna take a while though to heal him all the way. Are both of your Terminators still alive? They are. Here's the assault fellas. Here's the regular fellas. Oh, these guys are down a model still. Doesn't have the requisition to reinforce them, I think. Back up to the northeast then. 77 to 93. Can the blue team hold on to this? They've got some heavily damaged Great and Clean ones. Got a couple of tanks. What kind of shenanigans can these Chaos Sorcerers do? There's Foul Snare on this guy. Try and take him down first so that the None Shall Fall stops working, I guess. Subjugated Ogrins. Is he going to bring them back into danger, or... Oh, they just get stunned, okay. Stunned by the Purgatus. This Great and Clean one needs to leave. I think he's a bit low. 72 to 84. No action down on the natural VPs that I can see. Both players being quite defensive back there, so it's all on this contested victory point. Ogrins are going to white. Yes, they do. Can the Great and Clean one get away? He's going to try. Comes a rocket run. Great and Clean one has avoided the worst of it, but there's another one, and he goes down. He was dawdling. Needed to keep moving back to base, that guy. Another tank on the way. This guy is getting some heals. Is he? Is he close enough to base to be healed by it? Or is it just worship? No, he is getting base heals. 47 to 84 on the VPs. 2 to 1 for red. Imperium holding on. Here comes another Chaos Predator. No Chaos Terminators, eh? Maybe because of the Inquisitor over there. She can do some nasty things to Terminators. The tier 3 Lictor is decapping fast. Hormagaunts on those Terminators, tying them up. Look at all the inspirations as they kill them with their power fists. Swarm Lord staggers away. Where's the Lictor now? He got the cat. 2 to 1 for blue. Can he escape now? Maybe. Marcos each tank giving it a go, but that is a level 2 Vanquisher Leman Russ now. Here comes a bunch of blue team stuff though. 35 to 74. A bunch of Chaos stuff shows up. That guy crashes into that wall. You have Mark of Khorne, okay. More speed, more damage. This guy is unmarked. The Leman Russ is taking on all comers here. Inquisitor goes for the Great and Clean one. This is very brave of her. Gets tossed around. Almost level 8. Maybe can throw up her mandate and just soak up some damage for a bit. She can't even get into melee. She's getting path blocked by the big old fella. Subjugated Assault Terminators now. Teleported to there. Oh, and then consumed by the Great and Clean one. Very tricksy. Great and Clean one can consume friendly targets to get some energy back. Just used it on those Assault Terminators while they were subjugated there. Trying formation went in. So did a Hellfire rocket or whatever it's called by the Inquisitor. And she's capping now. Level 8. 18 VPs left on the blue team. Might be insurmountable now. Red team going to get a natural back. They're even getting this natural capped now. Look at this. Red team have done it, I think. There's the double. There's the triple. And it's game for the red team. GG, says Jaybob. Just couldn't keep their heavy hitters alive. The tanks went down so fast. The Vanquishers are absolutely mental at taking on other tanks. I guess they did get the Stormlord down pretty quickly. The Great and Clean ones did some good work, but they couldn't carry it by themselves. Level 10 Sorcerer for Fear. Level 6 for Scrap. The Ravener Alpha level 5. Always fun to see a melee Ravener. Level 7 Lord Commissar. Yeah, this tooltip is a bit weird, isn't it? Something's been pasted in the middle of another word or something. Level 8 Inquisitor and a level 7 Force Commander. There you have it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see ya next time.